everyone, it's Sam here, and today I'm going to show you how I've made this really interesting card. It all folds flat, so just push it down, and then I've added these pieces. So depending on the size of the envelope, I'm going to fold them in that way, but that will fit in a 6x6. But you could extend it. It all just kind of pops up into this shape here, but you could extend it. This was my prototype, and this one, when you fold it down, that would be a 6x8. You can see how I've got these extra pieces here. So these bits you can kind of add in wherever you want. I'm going to explain all that when I put it together. No dies are needed. I think I'm going to call it some kind of like multi-pillar, multi-column card, because it's just lots of these different kind of height columns that I've just stuck together to create this really fun platform with the very cute gnomes, which I'll show you in a moment. So let's get started. So to decorate this card, I've used the very cute stamp set from the latest issue of Creative Stamping magazine. So it's issue 148, and you get these wonderful gnome images. And then there's also this little section here for Altenew with the little toadstool and the house. And you've got the sentiment there, nice to see you and hello. And you can see, again, I'll just bring this one in, how they all look. What I love about this one is you've got all these extra pieces and they've got their little hands on them. So you've got the little hand on the ice cream and the watermelon and the drink. So when you stick them onto your different gnome, you see the little hands there and there. Even him with his little pineapple ring for the pool there. I've added some glaze as well on all the toadstools, so it looks really nice when it catches the light. And then for today's, the sentiment I'm going to change up a bit, because in the set here you've got the fun one here, Holy Shiitake, and then I'm going to use it with the Your How Old from my Excuse Me stamp set. So I'm going to have Holy Shiitake near the top and then Your How Old in the middle somewhere. So I've already stuck kind of half of them down, because you need kind of double of most of the sizes, and I've got all of my lovely little images all coloured there. If you want to see how I coloured and made all of this one, you can head over to my YouTube channel, Muckers Assemble, which is Mixed Up Crafters Assemble, and that's where I do all my live crafting. So it's a really nice couple of hours each time making different cards, and you can see me colour that in real time if you'd like. But all of the scoring is the same, it's just the heights of the card that's different. So you're going to want to cut yourself one piece of 4.5 by 6. That's our very back piece, and you're going to score at 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, and you want to fold and burnish all of the sides. Then you'll want 2 pieces of 4.5 by 5, and again the same scoring. Always score along that 4.5 side. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. And you're going to have 2. There's my other one already folded. Again, fold and burnish all of those score lines. Then you'll want 2 pieces of 4.5 by 4 along the 4.5 side. Again, score at 1, 2, 3 and 4. Fold and burnish. Then you'll want 2 pieces of 4.5 by 3. Again, score at 1, 2, 3 and 4. Then, sorry, I didn't cut another one. This, you only need 1 piece of 2 by 4.5. And again, along that 4.5 side, you'll score at 1, 2, 3 and 4. So I've stuck that one together, but how you stick them together is the same. And then you'll want 2 pieces. These are optional. These are these pieces here. So if you take them off, you can see there's that 2 by 4.5 one just in the center that holds it all together. These are just additional little pop outs. Those are 4.5 by 1. And again, score along the long side at 1, 2, 3 and 4. So I'll show you how to stick one together, because all of them go together exactly the same way. So your 1/2 inch tab on all of these pieces, you want to add your glue, and then you're just going to fold it down. You've got your 1/2 inch with the glue on, and then a 1 inch section, and then fold the other 1 inch over. And make sure it all folds flat, because that means the card will fold flat when you go to put it in your envelope. Now also on these pieces I have inked up the green cardstock. It's using it was the Hopeful Green, which was one of the Craft Stash colours, and then I just used it was the Distress Oxide Rustic Wilderness. I just kind of blended that in just to give it a little something really. But you'll see now, give it all a good burnish, and when you bring it back up, you've got one of your columns, your pillars there. So you just want to do that with all of the other pieces. Now I like to have the join facing me. So although you've got that kind of, you know, the edge where you stuck it down, I just think when you're looking at the card, you're not seeing the 1/2 inch join. So it's up to you. You might want to have it on the side. You could do it that way, I guess, as well. But I just thought that way you just don't see it at all. So I'm going to keep mine that way, but you're basically going to have, make sure I get all the inky bits the right way. You're going to have them like this. They're not going to be stuck like this, although you can do if you want, but you want to have something like that. So as long as you have those pieces, same as me, so one that is 6 inches, two that are 5 inches tall, 4 inches, 3 inches, one that's 2 inches, and then two that are 1 inch. Okay, so you're going to take your first one here, and I would squash it down. So you want to keep it as a diamond shape, and then you're going to take these ones, and I'm going to add my glue to the side, and then you're going to stick this one. You can stick it when they're like this if you want. You're going to stick it onto the side. So treat them like a diamond shape, all right, rather than a square, because it's easier for me to explain. And if you fold it all flat each time, because again, that's how it's going to go in the envelope. Okay, so already you can see you've got these parts here. So I'm going to take this one and stick it onto that side. Again, just lay it down flat. Make sure it's all nice and flush with the bottom, so you don't want your card to rock. Then you're going to take the next size down, and you're going to stick those onto either side, like so. We were saying like the Emerald City, it looked like a skyline. Someone said it looked like something from out of Star Wars, different platforms, podiums. There was endless things mentioned during the live. I think when you add different parts to it, it like creates a different look. So again, just take your glue and just keep folding it flat each time. Now, when you stick these ones down, that will give you your 6 inch. Okay, so you've got your 6 by 6 card. But you could stick these and have them coming out that way if you want, because they're going to be stuck differently, these next ones. But if you want to make it so it's a 6 by, be like 6 by 8 card. Like I said, that other one there, there's lots of ways to, you know, just experiment, you know, stick them at different heights, however you want, and it will give you a completely different look each time. So now we've got that shape, and then these ones here. Like I said, if you want to stick them on the edge, you can, but this time you want to stick them on the inside of this piece. So that one will go there, and then this one will stick there. So you see they join in the middle when they're flat. So you got these two here, you're sticking it on this one here. Now when that one comes up, it's coming up from that side. So at this point, just check that you've got one in the middle, two either side, and then two that drop down again, and then these two go back in again, so they're parallel with this one. Okay, now if you want, you could keep it like that. Yeah, it's quite an interesting card shape. I like it when it's more of a diamond than bringing it right out to a square shape, because the likelihood is whoever you give it to, when they take out of the envelope, that's the style they're going to create anyway when it pops up. Now this one, that 2 inch one, so I've always got the join facing me. You're going to squash it down, and it's going to stick across these two. So it's going to connect and, you know, hold the whole card together, or all those pieces together. So this time you're going to add your glue over both of these back panels. Now if you wanted to, you could add one in the middle here. So if you see there's that empty section there, you could do it in between these two sizes, or it could be the same size as this, you know, the 4 inch ones. But I quite like the gap, because that's where I'm going to probably have my sentiment. So now when you bring it up, you've got that shape. And then these, like I said, are your little add-ons. So if you wanted to, you could stick them both on the front there, either side. Depends what kind of look you want to go for, really. I've got the little dog on one of these little springs on the front, which I'll show you in a minute. So that's why I've got those two there. So I'm going to do the same for this one. So they get stuck onto the middle. So you've got 1, 2, 3. So it's the middle one, the one that is 3 inches tall. And you just stick it the same way. So again, I've got the join facing me. So I'm going to have this one here. It's upside down, turn that around. Mine are going to fold in that way. Yours can fold out that way as well, but if you've got anything stuck on it, the likelihood is it's going to overhang. So if I fold them out that way, this all overhangs, which would create a bigger envelope. Whereas if I fold it in that way, obviously it keeps it all within that 6 by 6 size. Okay, so now I've got everything all stuck down. It's ready to decorate. So I think I'm going to have the holy shiitake there, and then I might have your how old on that one there, because then I can have all of the mushrooms, little toadstools all in between. So if you're going to connect anything on the mountain folds, so we've got a mountain fold here, got a mountain fold here, all of these are obviously mountain folds, but these are your two middle mountain folds. I'm not going to give measurements apart from the fact that the width is maybe something you'll want to take into consideration because it needs to be able to go behind here. So I've done 1/2 inch, and then I know I don't need all of that. What you want to do is create a section that can sit behind whatever it is. So I'm going to have 3 things. I'm going to have the dog, this sentiment, and this sentiment. So I can do another one with that in a minute. So that one is going to fit perfectly behind there. So that's that one. Let's do this one for the dog. So I'm just going to kind of fold a section like that. Okay. Then you want to concertina fold halfway behind. And I'm doing it like this without giving measurements because everybody's going to have something different. And then the other one. So they kind of meet in the middle. Okay. Like so. And then just snip away the overhang, because you want that to all hide, and you should have a little spring like this, and then that can stick on the front. I'll show you how to connect it in a minute. Just do the other one for the sentiments. This one's a little bit bigger, that's going to stick behind there perfectly, and then just halfway. As long as you get the fold, it doesn't matter if the card doesn't come all the way back, but as long as you get that kind of fold halfway, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to just add the glue onto that front piece and then stick that one behind. Make sure it's obviously all nice and straight. You might want to stick it on first and then add whatever it is you're sticking onto it, but that's fine. And then what you're going to do is add your glue to these pieces here, and they're going to go over the mountain fold either side. So I'm going to keep this flat for the minute and just kind of look underneath, make sure that's sitting over each side of the fold. And now when you bring that up, can you see how that's over each side of that mountain fold? So that will always pop out straight, and it's just a nice way to add, you know, sentiment or a, you know, I've got a little image here. So this one, because I know I definitely want him down there. So again, I'm just going to add some glue, cute little gnome dog, the glue. Again, I'm just checking that when it folds down, that goes over that fold in the centre. There we go. So you can see now when that folds right up how that pushes out. Looks really cute. And then this one is going to go just above. So actually, I'm going to need that even thinner. So I'm going to cut this whole piece in half because I've only got a very small section there to have that just above. So let's, in fact, I'll stick this down and then I can just decorate everything else because that's easy. You don't need to watch me do that. So I'll stick this one on first, and I want it to line with the top of this piece. So again, just folding it down just so the folds go over. So it's parallel with the top there. Again, you can check how that pops out. And then I can just add the glue like so. Just make sure that's in the middle. There we go. So now I've got my 3 like pop out pieces along with these bits as well. Hopefully that makes sense of those bits there. I've got a spare one there if I needed it. But now I'm going to stick all of these bits down. Probably similar layout to this one here because I do really like it. Obviously I've got that extra sentiment now, but I could even add some of the toadstools actually behind the sentiment there as well, just to give it even more dimension. But once it's all stuck down, I'll show you it when it's finished. So there's the finished card. I decided to add one right at the top. Now I have made obviously the card now bigger, but I'll just pop this into a 7x7 envelope or even a C6 6x8 envelope, it'll be fine. But I did kind of like that toadstool at the top. I've added one on the front there, and then you can see all the cute little, like the little lollipop there. You can see his little cocktail, the ring, and like I said, the little hands are on them. So I just think it's such a sweet little stamp set. I'm going to add some of my dimensional gloss, and that will go over all of the toadstools, so it will give it this shine that you can see on these ones. And I do like that I've inked up the base, because I just think that adds a little bit of depth as well to the background. But you could cover it with pattern paper. You could add mats and layers to all of those pieces as well, but I think they are adorable. So I'm going to be doing different sizes of these. Again, when I start to do one size, it then inspires me and just starts to give me lots of inspiration on ways to do different versions of this, let's say. So make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any future videos that I might be sharing. I'll have a playlist for this style card that will be coming up, so anything I've done will be added into there. Any of the product links, they'll be in the description box below, so if you want to go and check out the magazine, you'll be able to find that link. I'm not sure if it's going to be online as I put this video out, but it will be, you know, in lots of your local supermarkets, so Tesco, Sainsbury's, Waitrose, places like that. So you might have to go in there first. As always, thank you for watching. Please give me a thumbs up, drop me a comment, because I do enjoy reading them, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.